Now I'll talk about the teaching of writing skills. Writing, as you know, is a very important skill. In the beginning, I'll just discuss the writing process, which is considered to be essential for an effective learning and teaching of writing skills. Writing process may be considered as a set of sequences which readers or learners need to internalize and implement in order to improve their writing skills. And teachers may focus on this writing process in their writing classrooms so that their students may learn the writing properly. In this regard, the teachers might choose following steps. In the beginning, they can focus on pre-writing. It is, in fact, a planning stage in which the students brainstorm various ideas about the topic which they intend to write on. They may also focus on identifying the key concepts related to the topic, as well as narrowing down the focus of their ideas by sharing various ideas among each other. In this regard, they may use charts, story webs, and graphic organizers to help develop a word list for the writing. They may prepare a word list in advance so that they may not face any vocabulary problem later on while writing. And at this stage, they may also decide about the audience and the purpose of writing. This would genuinely help them in drafting a good piece of writing. The next stage includes rough draft. It's a kind of draft which students write without much worry about the grammatical corrections or spelling errors. They may write or prepare rough draft of keynotes which they would like to include in their writing. The purpose is to make students focus on key ideas or important dimensions of the topic which they intend to write on. At this stage, some models of exemplary writing could be beneficial for the students. Students can take help from these models and can draw their writing based on such models. Peer editing is another important stage in the writing process. At this stage, students share their rough draft or points with their students, get their feedback. They also decide which point may be more important or which may not be. So they could prioritize various ideas at this stage, and later on they could use that priority list in order to make their final draft. Students could help each other by asking who, why, when kind of questions, and this could help students nourish and polish their ideas. Revising is the next stage. At this stage, students revise their draft based on their peers' assessment or feedback. And they sometimes make some additions or clarify certain points at this stage. And this is largely based on their peer students' feedback. Teacher might also step in at this stage. A few of the important skills which are focused upon within this revising stage is clearing the idea, organization of ideas, and the sentence fluency. Editing is another stage where students further edit their writing while working with their peers as well as their teachers. They try to amend and correct their possible errors within the draft. They could be grammatical errors or spelling errors or any other form of errors, or could be the errors of the connection of ideas. At this stage, probably the knowledge of the genre in which students are writing could be very useful. What could possibly be the demands of a certain genre, if students already know it, could really help them in polishing their draft. Final draft is the final copy of the writing. Students produce a copy after including all errors of corrections and their teachers and peers' feedback. and at this draft, they share this draft with their teacher, and teacher at this stage gives his final suggestions as well, which students would include in the final part of the process of writing, which is publishing. Publishing includes the finished form, final finished form of a writing, which is ready to be given to the audience. Student could share it with their class fellows, with their teachers. Teacher is always an audience in such publishing. And this includes preparing a neatly handwritten or a draft which is composed on computer through some software, Microsoft Word or anything else. And the publication may possibly be done on some local media, on multimedia presentation, or could be sent to some local newspaper of our publication. So this is a stage where students produce their final draft and the draft which would possibly reach to the audience.